Elden Ring is absolutely massive and filled with tons of secrets and optional dungeons and areas and more. So we're gonna talk about them here. We've got 10 of our favorites, so let's get started off with number 10. Ever wonder where all these random jar people come from? You know, I'm not sure if this actually answers that question, but there is an entire town of these guys you can find off the side of a cliff in Liurnia near the Carrion study hall. The only way to survive the fall down here is by landing on these gravestones sticking out on the side of the cliff, but if you find those, then it's not too hard to make your way down. What you'll find at the bottom is Jarburg. Yeah, a little town where the jars live in peace. They all mind their own business as long as you don't provoke them or go into their houses and steal their stuff. There is something uncanny about going to a place where all the enemies are just hanging out, but you get over it pretty quick. Other than a few jar crafting items you can pick up, there really isn't much to do in this place. It's just a strange little secret area that's one of the few places where anyone is living in peace in this screwed up Elden Ring world, so you might as well enjoy it for a minute.
Ah, hello. How nice it is to see a friendly face.
Next, over at number 9, let's talk about the upside down Carrion study hall. Connected to the Liurnia Divine Tower, a lot of people are probably going to head to the Carrion study hall after beating the shard bearer of the area, thinking that it's the place where you can activate Renala's great rune, but instead of a useful upgrade, all you find is one incredibly annoying mage and a big old dead end. There's an altar at the start of this place that requires an item, but getting it is no easy feat. The item you need is this thing called the Carrion inverted statue, which can only be obtained by giving Ranni the Witch the secret treasure of Nakron. That's a whole complicated thing that we're not going to get into right now, but basically you have to find Ranni in the Carrion Manor in Liurnia and then find the treasure she wants. Then she'll give you this item that can be placed on the pedestal, which causes the entire tower to flip upside down. Now, instead of going up, you go down. You're not walking on the floor anymore. Now you have to carefully make your way across the ceiling. It's one of the strangest places in any Souls games and eventually allows you to access an elevator that takes you up to the Divine Tower where Ranni's real body is. This is the only way to get to this place, as far as we know, making it one of the few locations that you can only get to by completing a quest rather than just through exploration alone. Next at number 8, the Eternal City of Nakron is a place that a lot of NPCs talk about, but it seems like there's no way to get there. If you manage to get to the underground Siofra River area, then you can look up and see this city anytime you want, but there's nothing down here that connects to the place. It seems like there's no way there because, well, there isn't. It actually requires a certain amount of progress to open this place up, namely fighting and defeating the shard bearer Radahn. Technically, you can take this guy on at any point, but he's so damn strong that for most people, you're probably going to want to have at least 2 other shard bearers dealt with before you'll be able to take him down. When you finally do manage to take this freak out, there's a cutscene showing a meteor crashing into the ground somewhere. That cutscene isn't just for show. That meteor actually did land someplace. You can find the massive impact site to the south of Limgrave under the Mistwoods, and if you carefully make your way down the massive hole, you can find the mysterious Eternal City of Nakron. This is one of the most beautiful and mysterious places in the game, and it's well worth exploring. This isn't the only underground secret area in the game, but it's definitely one of the most satisfying to finally get to. Next, over at number 7, Miquella's Hallog Tree. Now, when you first get to the mountaintop of the Giants, we noticed that there was this massive chunk of land that you just couldn't get to at all. The entire western part of the area was locked down. The only way to get out of here is to find both halves of the Hallog Tree secret medallion. One you get from completing Castle Sol, which isn't too hard to get, but the other one is just ridiculous. It can only be found by attacking this random big pot to reveal a guy who's actually in disguise in the village of Noxtella, now all the way back in Liurnia. Seriously, that's where this other medallion is. We spent a ton of hours trying to find this thing and only ended up finding it by mistake way later. From there, you can take the giant elevator down to the consecrated snowfield, then to this village where you have to solve a puzzle, and then finally you'll arrive at the Hallog Tree, and this place is nuts. An entire town and castle built into the side of a dead and rotting tree. This place is exceptionally dangerous, but is one of the coolest environments in the entire game. You start up in the branches curves before going all the way down to the roots, and this place makes you feel every step because it's not short. It's an all-around awesome area that ends with what may be the hardest Dark Souls boss yet, and absolutely should not be missed. Next, over at number 6, the secret of Volcano Manor. Now, at the top of Mount Gelmir, you can find this place called the Volcano Manor. From the outside, it looks like a massive dungeon, but when you go in, you can't actually attack anyone and all the doors appear locked. Instead of being a place you can just immediately explore, you instead have to work with Lady Tanith and talk with the various people in the manor before you can start to uncover any secrets. That means hunting and killing the targets she assigns you, but before long, Tanith's daughter will start complaining about weird sounds and tell you that she saw something disappear into a room. Now, if you look around, you can actually find a false wall that leads you into the innards of the castle, and eventually the lava-filled prison town hidden beneath the manor walls. This is a dangerous place filled with snake men and crazed prisoners, and actually exploring it can be a challenge considering, like all the lava, but the fact that you can't actually get here without first doing some investigating is pretty unique for this type of game. There's actually a really cool boss fight at the end too that we won't spoil, but it's definitely something that you're gonna want to do. Next at number 5, Moguin Palace. Now, back in the Siofra River area, there are 2 major landmarks that you can see, but seemingly never reach. One was Nakron, but the other was this, that massive palace you can see in the distance. Now, at first, that's what we thought was Nakron, but it wasn't. This place is actually an ancient palace where the so-called Lord of Blood resides, and you can only get there for an unassuming portal that can be found in the consecrated snowfield. Seriously, it's totally unmarked. You'll only be able to recognize it by the little pool of blood that appears around it. Now, the portal takes you to the palace, and it's definitely got the blood part down. The rocks are covered in splashes of blood. The entire lake under the place is made of blood. The actual palace itself is just an ancient ruin, but it's still very satisfying to finally find this place after seeing it from far away for so long. Now over at number 4, Noxtella, the other Eternal City. Because yes, there's actually a second one, and getting here is a lot trickier than getting to the first one. Now, after obtaining the death mark from Ranni's original body, you can return to her place to find what she's left, and if you look around the Three Sisters area, you can find that one locked tower is finally opened and contains a portal. Now that portal takes you to a previously impossible to get to area above the Ansil River, and if you go down the path, you'll finally be able to reach Noxtella, the second Eternal City that's filled with even more of these nasty silver tears, as well as soldiers riding ants and these hilarious, annoying living boulders that literally chase you around and try and run you over. It's another beautiful location that's even harder to find than the previous city, but it is absolutely worth it just for the loot alone. Now over at number 3, the Lake of Rot. Found by taking an elevator at the end of Noxtella, this place is basically a continuation of that area, but it's so unique that we felt like it deserved a mention all by itself. This place is exactly what it sounds like, an endless flat surface filled with a scarlet rot-causing liquid, and unlike the Caelid region where there's no easy way around this stuff, if you want to get through here, you gotta just either run to each little safe zone or chug a lot of potions and try and tank the damage. You can't summon your spirit steed down here, so you just have to walk through it, and that's all you really can do. At the end of this place lies an almost Egyptian-looking grand cloister, a place filled with pests that are seemingly worshipping something. At the end of this place is a random coffin. Getting into that coffin at the edge of a waterfall of rot makes about as much sense as anything in this game, so what the hell. It at least leads to one of the craziest bosses in the whole game, so it almost makes getting through this hellhole worth it, but just almost. Next over at number 2, the Deeproot Depths. Now, there is a secret passageway you can find north of the Ancestral Woods checkpoint in Nakron that leads to the aqueducts. Now, beat the boss here and you can find a coffin that if you get inside will actually go up the waterfall and drop you off at this truly awe-inspiring spot. The Deeproot Depths are the literal roots of the Erd Tree, a place that's been taken over by gigantic ants and annoying basilisks that is just straight up one of the weirder places you'll explore. For one thing, you can find a third eternal city here that's apparently flooded with this white milk-like substance flowing from the roots of the tree. Just being in this place is surreal, and there's a lot of useful stuff to find laying around if you just want to take the time to look. The weirdest thing of all resides if you make your way up the roots from here to the base of the Erd Tree, where you'll find this gigantic arena where the Prince of Death resides. This is actually an essential location for one of the game's endings, but it all revolves around whatever this giant creature is. You don't actually get to fight this thing, at least not yet, but it's still a hell of a thing to just wander into. Now down at number 1, the Frenzied Flame Prescription. The subterranean shunning grounds below Lindell shouldn't belong on any best of list. You know, this place is miserable. It's a confusing maze that combines the worst elements of the sewers and Blighttown from the first Dark Souls game. It just sucks, frankly. But in its deepest reaches, you can actually find one of the Elden Ring's craziest secrets, the Frenzied Flame. It may seem like this shrine at the bottom of this place where the boss is found is a dead end, but if you return to this location and touch the shrine, a secret path will open that takes you to this creepy as hell tomb filled with the corpses of nomads who look like they've gone mad, and a few still living ones who can kill you just by looking at you. It'll take some tricky platforming to get to the bottom of this place, but if you manage it, you'll find yourself in a room containing this hellish looking door that there doesn't seem to be any way to open. Now, we assumed for a long time that you needed some special key or an NPC or something to open it, but the actual solution, which we found again totally by accident, is that you have to strip your character naked and then you can open the door. Seriously, that's what you have to do. The 3 fingers will brand you with the Frenzied Flame, and now when you enter the forge, you'll get a different cutscene than normal, which locks you into this secret ending. This whole thing is one of the deepest and darkest secrets in the entire Souls series, and it's incredibly satisfying to discover. Those are the best ones, but we got a bonus one we wanted to mention, returning to the starting area. You know, the beginning of Elden Ring starts you at this place called the Chapel of Anticipation, but it doesn't take long for you to get killed. Then the game drops you at the Stranded Graveyard, and that's where the actual open world starts, but it seems like there's no way to get back to that chapel where everything started. But if you manage to get to this area called the Four Belfries, northwest from the Academy, you can find a portal that'll take you back to the starting area, and in classic Dark Souls fashion, there's a few special items you can pick up while you're up there. Now, it's not as elaborate as returning to the Undead Asylum from Dark Souls, but it's nice to get a chance to go back to this place and smoke that first boss. Those are some of the coolest little secret locations and places we stumbled upon in the game, our favorites, but we want to hear yours down in the comments. If you've been deep in this game, let us know what you've discovered. If you enjoyed this video, if you like talking Elden Ring with us, clicking the like button's all you gotta do. We really appreciate it, and it lets us know to work on more Elden Ring videos. But for now, just thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.